scaling and interlinked crises around the world are putting the 2030 agenda for the SDGs in grave danger. The confluence of crises dominated by COVID-19, climate change, major conflicts are creating spin-off impacts on food security, health, education, the environment, and peace and security. And they are affecting all the sustainable development goals. Also, therefore, at least for me personally, the global bioimaging exchange of experience has become so much more, in addition to being an international platform for us to meet and greet and meet colleagues from around the globe. The next 2 days are key to further foster our existing bridges and building new ones, to find new friends and continue exciting opportunities and fruitful collaborations on which we can build together in the next months and years to come, because they will not be easy. Taking the risk now to be a bit pathetic here, I invite you all as members of this international community to become a lighthouse for the imaging scientists, and in particular for the young generations of researchers out there who are now waiting for their opportunities to make their contribution to the impact of research on society. Why did we choose this year's topic, Impact of Imaging? There's a high degree of consensus that research infrastructures need to show their broader direct and indirect impacts, both to politicians and to the public. Research infrastructure managers, as they are here assembled in this room, are expected to demonstrate how their projects lead to economic benefits, inspire youth, and promote diplomacy. Consequently, they need to start collecting data early, define impacts broadly, use success stories, and develop alliances to support investment cases based on project impacts. And this conference is really an important opportunity for all of us to start with this. What I have to say is not linked to a slide. Maybe I can just repeat it with a loud voice. As you can see in the agenda that we've distributed, during the next 2 days, you will hear about important and highly motivating examples from all around the world, how the imaging communities are making their contributions to one or more of the 17 SDGs. In the morning today, we will hear from the United Nations, or the UNESCO, on their expectations towards science, technology, and innovation in the context of sustainable development goals by Guillermo Agnew. Welcome, Guillermo. This will be followed by a presentation by Laurence Lejeune on international recommendation for measuring impact from core facilities. In the second session in the morning, participants for the roundtable will discuss regional hubs as a catalyst for sustainable development of global bioimaging initiatives. And then before lunch, we have a highlight. We will see the signing ceremony of the Global Bioimaging Memorandum of Understanding by Latin America Bioimaging. I would also like to point out that thanks to the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative funding, we were able to fund several travel grants this year, which were assigned in an open and competitive call. Several of the grantees are invited to present their stories as flash talks throughout the conference. They are new to our community, and I'm specifically sending a warm welcome to all of you. And with this, I would like to hand over to Yara and Gleb to present global bioimaging in a nutshell.
Morning, everyone. We're having a little bit of problem. It's fine. Okay, so I'll make sure that the virtual attendees are also looking at the same presentation that we are. I did promise some of them personally that they wouldn't miss a bit from this event. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about global bioimaging, special for those of you who are here for the first time at the exchange of experience or listen about global bioimaging. Where does it come from and what are the main goals? So global bioimaging is an international open network of imaging infrastructures and communities. It started back in 2015 from an agreement between EuroBioimaging together with partners in India and Australia, and followed right away by Japan. It is a community effort connecting imaging scientists, facility technical managers, staff, and policymakers. The main goal is to cooperate internationally and propose solutions to the challenges faced by the imaging community. Also, to build a strong case and argue that imaging technologies and research infrastructures are key in the advancement of life science. And of course, to build capacity internationally, leverage on each other's strengths and expertises by offering training. So also since 2020, Global BioImaging is funded by CZI. So you can see that since, oh, sorry, it's not moving. There. Since then, since 2015, what initially started with the independence of the European Eurobioimaging infrastructure connecting to India and Australia, followed by Japan, then has evolved now towards 11 recognized infrastructures and regions, followed by single scope, so not by a particular order, South Africa, but also Canada bioimaging, North America and Mexico, and now the latest one, the Latin America bioimaging now. So these are definitely very, very different regions and have their own very particular scenarios and setups. But even if in different scales, there are common challenges that unite and common situations that unite all of them. One of them is, to name just a few, the lack of sustainability proposals or strategies and financial support, as well as the visibility with users and funders, the recognition of contribution of the imaging infrastructures towards different stakeholders, talent recruitment and talent retention, clear career perspectives and career progression options, and open access policies. So this is where Global BioImaging comes in. So Global BioImaging offers opportunities to address some of these identified challenges and tries to tackle them. To name a few, I'd like to list the annual Exchange of Experience conference where we are right now. Then it also hosts international working groups that meet regularly, I would say around about every 2 months, a sort of task force from the whole community, from the different global regions. And from this working group's work has been actually resulted in publishing international recommendations on different topics of interest for the community, as well as collects and produce training modules and coordinates training initiatives. We'll elaborate a little bit in each of these points. So Antje already said, and nicely, that there has been, so this is the 7th exchange of experience, and previously they all occur in a different region of the global community as well. They had a different topic. So for this year, I'm not going to, except for the last 2 years, were virtual, fully virtual, with also quite a significant amount of participants. I believe more around 150 remote participants. This year, we focus on the Sustainable Development Goals, and as this was already said, I will go further, but we do have a high amount of registered participants. From those, 80 planned in person and 60 do remote, although of course, considering the time zones, I think it will fluctuate a little bit how many are that individual mode. And we're very, very happy to be able to do this with the Latin American bioimaging and the lobby team. Gracias, más una vez. As Antje said, the first aim is to be here, to be able to meet everyone and to be able to discuss the community's challenges in person and in a first hand. Me encanta mucho estar aquí. Espero que este viernes puedo decir esta frase como debe ser. So for those who are laughing at home, I hope I can speak better this sentence by end of the week. But basically the goals are definitely to collect and report and discuss success stories of imaging impact in the different global communities, and also learn from them what challenges they had to overcome. So old and new challenges that might have been developed meanwhile. And this year, a little bit new for the exchange of experience, we're going to have a dedicated biomedical imaging session. I would also like to point out, and the working groups are more regular in this event and the conferences. In this case, this year, we're going to have a working group of impact that is fitting to the topic. You'll hear more about it later. The career path, the biomedical working group, and the data management working group. Antje also mentioned, thanks to CZI, for the first time, we could bring travel grantees to the exchange of experience. And there was a lot of wonderful applications. Many of them are actually here of the candidates. 7 were chosen. and are here today with us, with the exception of Sunday, that was unfortunately not able to board at the gate and because of transit visa reasons. But I think we'll come and discuss a bit more about this later on. You can find information on our website. Going back to the working groups very shortly, I also want to point out you can find the detailed data. So what has as a case proof of what is coming out of the working groups and discuss for recommendations. So there is a paper published in Nature for the image data management. For the societal impact group, there has been two white papers that have been published with recommendation about imaging for facility impact and value. And for the career development, there will also be the career path working group. There's under preparation manuscript, a global view on how to promote sustainable career paths for staff working in imaging for facilities and the imaging time. So these are open to anyone who's interested. So there is no restriction. You do not need to be, you need to simply to be interested and want to contribute for these groups. You can approach us and you can join the working group discussions, not only in the next 2 days, tomorrow, but also in the future. I'm not going to go in detail about the papers. You've received on your bag the QR code. You can check in detail, but it is a ready to go tool that we hope you can use to help us make a case for your image infrastructure towards the different stakeholders and in your own institutions and scenarios. For example, the assessing imaging impact, so research infrastructure performance and impact, has already transformed from a paper into a workshop together with Gleb, Laurence and Claire. The impact group have prepared and have already applied this into a workshop, teaching people interested in how to show impact of their imaging facilities. And with this, I give the word to Gleb, who will tell a little bit about the other training options, possibilities. Thank you.
So good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. So I would like to briefly talk about the training opportunities at Global BioImaging. So the training programs that I manage at Global BioImaging, it contains three pillars, so three avenues. So one of them is international training courses that we organize for core facility staff. Also job shadowing program on international level, and also the virtual training platforms that we have recently developed. So the training for imaging core facility staff primarily contains courses and workshops. Pre-pandemic, we had in-person events. During the pandemic, we moved to the virtual format, and we hope to move to the in-person format in the coming months and years. We primarily focus on two teams, core facility management and image data. When it comes to the job shadowing program, which is essentially one-way staff exchange, it has international components, so we promote mobility between countries and between continents. And the idea of job shadowing program is not just learn new skills, but also exchange experiences, form collaborations, and support networking. The third pillar is virtual training platforms that we have recently developed, where we add educational and training modules on a variety of topics within the imaging community. To go a little bit more into the details, so our international training courses are organized in collaboration with Global BioImaging partners, and we target primarily service providers, for example, core facility staff. The courses and workshops are open to everyone from around the globe. There's no fee for the courses, so they're free of charge, and generally they're taught by Global BioImaging partners. Occasionally, we subcontract external training providers, for example, companies, for the topics that cannot be covered by the imaging community. All of the materials that we deliver as part of the training courses, or most of it, we try to put back into the training platform for independent learning. The courses are based on collaborative approach. So I'd like to highlight two collaborations. One of them is with Canada BioImaging. So we have with Canada BioImaging and CNPS, we have formed an impact workshop, a series of sessions teaching on how to measure impact of imaging core facilities. And the second collaboration is with India BioImaging Consortium last year. So we have jointly organized a Bangalore microscopy course. And on the right-hand side, you can see some of the topics that we try to deliver as part of our courses. So there are two major teams: core facility management and image data. And because of increased capacity due to remote or virtual format, we have also decided to move into imaging technologies and their applications. The job shadowing program is something that is open to every single core facility staff and director from around the globe. So right now we have 24 hosts on every single populated continent, and it is open to technical staff and also to imaging specialists. And until the end of next year we have travel grants available for this purpose. So we cover the mobility and accommodation for the participants. And since end of 2016, we had approximately 55 job shadowing applications. Here's a snapshot of some of the hosts that we have in Global BioImaging. And on the right-hand side, you can see the offer that that particular core facility provides. So in this case, it is a Singascope in Singapore. So all of the information about the hosts is available on our website, and this list for selection is also there. Next, I would like to move to the training platforms that we have built on Global BioImaging website. So this is a resource that we hope will be useful for imaging scientists and core facility staff, and also users of core facilities. It's available to everyone, so there's no registration. We have launched it during summer of last year, and since then we have 9 categories with 26 modules and about 55 hours of curated material. And on the right-hand side, you can see how it looks like. So the modules are thematic, they are highly curated, and then they contain materials that is useful for the topic. One of the added value of such resources that you do not need to use search engines, so you can basically navigate to the platform and then find the information that you require for a particular topic. And with this, this is all about the training.